You graduated in 2023, maybe 2024, and you're stuck. Every entry-level job posting demands 2 years of experience you don't have. Your resume has a widening gap, and the rejection emails are piling up. The standard market response is to sell you a quick fix, a 3-month AI bootcamp, promising that if you learn basic Python and string together a few API calls, recruiters will line up. It's a low time commitment, and you get a shiny certificate at the end. But those certificates rarely convert into job offers. Employers aren't filtering for basic syntax knowledge anymore. They are looking for production-level engineering, delivery mindset, and portfolio depth. A simulated weekend project doesn't survive contact with actual client demands. This brings us to a polarizing alternative. PragyanAI has launched a program for passed-out students that completely rejects the crash course model. It requires a massive, intimidating commitment. Because the entry-level hiring filter is entirely broken, we've reached a point where desperate graduates are forced to essentially buy their way into a structured work environment just to get the experience recruiters demand. Let's look at the exact cost of entry. PragyanAI requires 24 continuous months of your time and a fee of 3.5 lakhs. You have to weigh that against the extremes of the market, the cheap, fast boot camps that take a few months, and the traditional MTech degrees that take 2 years and can cost anywhere from 5 to 20 lakhs. This chart maps out how these options stack up. On the x-axis, we have your time and financial investment. On the y-axis, your actual real-world employability. Short boot camps sit firmly in the bottom left, low investment but low impact. Traditional university degrees require massive capital and sit on the far right of the x-axis. But because they lack on-the-job training, their impact on immediate employability hovers in the middle. PragyanAI claims to sit in the top right. It requires a grueling investment of time and money, but promises high practical outcomes in return. This is the core dilemma. Does generating 1.5 years of verifiable work experience mathematically justify pausing your independent job hunt for 2 entire years? To answer that, we have to audit the curriculum. Phase 1 takes up the first 6 months. It is not a quick dive into building AI bots. It is a slow, methodical, theoretical build. This diagram outlines the first semester. You spend months on Python, statistics, probability, and core machine learning algorithms. The curriculum matches a top-tier MTech baseline, preventing the 12-week wonder syndrome that causes candidates to fail technical interviews. The trade-off is steep. For a full half year, you are delaying any hands-on building of generative AI or agentic systems, and you are absolutely not applying for jobs. For an anxious, unemployed graduate who is desperate to put something impressive on their resume immediately, this delay takes a severe psychological toll. This initial frustration acts as an active filter. It weeds out candidates looking for quick gratification before the actual heavy lifting even begins. Skipping foundational math and theory guarantees failure when an interviewer asks you to explain the underlying logic of a model. That agonizing 6-month wait is a necessary evil for long-term survival in the industry. The core differentiator of the entire program kicks in during Phase 2. This is an 18-month period of direct on-the-job training. Here, the chart expands. The residency is defined by 4 pillars of continuous work. The first pillar is product development, building AI SaaS for real clients. The other 3 workflows involve mentoring junior batches, researching and publishing papers on agentic AI, and organizing hackathons to manage developer communities. The output of this 18-month grind is heavy. You exit with a portfolio of 80 to 120 projects and 4 major capstones. But you lose the comfort of self-paced online learning. You are forced to adopt a strict delivery mindset, absorbing actual client-level stress and strict deadlines. Phase 2 is not a period of studying. It is an enforced, highly structured apprenticeship, heavily disguised as a course. We need to confront the financial realities of that 3.5 lakh upfront price tag. Looking at the ledger, the initial input is steep. You are sinking capital and 24 months of your life into this. The mitigating factor balancing this out is that students receive an ongoing stipend during Phase 2, alongside direct mentorship. The brutal financial reality of this model is that you are essentially paying upfront capital to fund your own apprenticeship and ultimately your own stipend. The ROI is entirely backloaded. The money you spend only translates to actual value if you have the sheer grit to survive the full 24 months without quitting. So what actually happens to a student after the 24 months are over? The primary outcome the program pushes for is internal hiring. Top performers are directly absorbed into PragyanAI's own engineering teams. The starting salary for this direct hire pipeline is 3.5 to 4 lakhs per annum. That number might disappoint you if you've been listening to Silicon Valley marketing hype. But in the current Indian tech market, a secured entry point of 4 LPA without needing to brave the open job market is highly realistic. If you aren't hired internally, the secondary outcome is entering the broader market. You don't enter as a fresher. You enter with 1.5 years of verifiable multidisciplinary experience in high trajectory skills like agentic AI. The true payoff here isn't an instant massive salary windfall, it is permanently breaking out of the unemployable fresher trap. This massive 2-year commitment is a highly specific surgical tool. It is not a universal career fix. Let's look at the decision tree. If you are currently employed in IT, the yes path leads straight to a hard stop. The opportunity cost is too high. Avoid it. If you are unemployed, the next node asks, can you survive 24 months without a full market rate salary? If the answer is no, this is not for you. Finally, are you willing to do the unglamorous grunt work required to actually build AI products? If yes, you get the green checkmark. The ideal candidate is a 2023 or 2024 graduate staring at gaping holes on their resume. For that specific group, this program acts as their best, albeit difficult, lifeline. PragyanAI requires a brutal and expensive investment. But it is a logically sound career rebuild for stranded graduates who have realized they can no longer afford to take shortcuts.